welcome back to the channel. And today we are talking about an article I've seen this morning, and we're talking about Tesco. Some of you might already seen the article, but you know what, every time I scroll through like the news and the headlines, and every time I see supermarket headlines, it's like, interesting, let's see what else they're planning to do. So basically Tesco's, if you haven't seen the article, Tesco's now are thinking of introducing a fulfillment fee like basically like Amazon do fulfillment when you send off products to Amazon, and then they charge fulfillment fee to basically ship the item to somewhere else. So they're basically thinking of introducing a fee to the fresh produce. And guess who's going to be coughing up the bill? Of course, it's going to be the farmers. So basically the thing is, because reading online, Tesco is saying because things have changed so much, because the customers' shopping habits changed a lot, and they changed so much, and they've done so much, and Tesco's done so much to basically accommodate customers. I'm just sort of not being trying to sound funny, but what exactly has changed? Our shopping habits to what we buy has changed, absolutely. But as to options how we shop, you go to the shop to Tesco's, you buy your stuff, you come home, or you go to the online shop and you put the stuff in your basket and you have it delivered, or then you go and you collect it at the collection point. So I'm not quite sure what they're saying, that things have changed a lot and they have to work really, really hard to keep up with the changes. And I'm yet to understand what sort of changes they're trying to keep up. I just can't understand for love of me, why would they introduce this on fresh fruit and vegetables? We're having issues already as we know with the supplies anyway. Why introduce this on vegetables, like fruit and vegetables? Yes, I know they said that smallest of the farms will not be, smallest of the suppliers will not be affected, but okay, but still, there's still many, many people and farmers that supply a local produce. So what exactly is going to happen with the produce if the farmer can't afford to? And hear me, Tesco's made 2.6 billion profit last year, 2.6 billion profit. And they denied Heinz price increase on their items when there was a little debate going on about 6 or 7 months ago. So that was not, obviously that was a no-go. So, but they happily just trying to charge more the farmers for the fresh fruit and vegetables. So what is actually going to happen? Sorry, but the point was, though, if I normally go to the Tesco's and I do my shop in person, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to pick up fruit, vegetables, and my usual preps as you do, and you come home, that's fine. But there are many people that don't go or not able to go food shopping in person and have their stuff delivered. What do you do then? So if a lot of farmers can't afford to, and they were talking about 5 to 10p per item, this is absolutely ridiculous. If you think there's sometimes like a bag of little tomatoes when you can get them, like cherry tomatoes was like say 70 or something pence, sometimes on the deal even less than 50p, just imagine them have to imagine first of all how much they pay to the farmer, and then let's just imagine 5 or 10p on the top. Then they have to then take from the farmers, so we can pick up and buy this tomato stuff like through the online grocery shop, and that's absolutely ridiculous. But what happens though when those farmers can't afford to, and they say, okay, well, don't list the items on your shopping platform, then what's going to happen to the people that can't go to the shop and buy? So does that mean that they're not going to be able to buy fresh fruit and vegetables because farmers can't afford to support Tesco's shopping platform? If you think about it, okay, it's not the farmer's problem. Tesco's make their millions, they have their platform, they're the ones that chosen, right, to create the online shopping, okay? So why does the poor little farmers that can barely afford to, or basically barely surviving, many of which, not saying all of them, why do those farmers then have to basically support the Tesco's? Because Tesco's, according to the spokesperson there, they basically needed help to help them deal with the online demand. So I understand, of course, our habits and how we shop has changed, especially the post-COVID, because I think many people just generally chose to buy stuff online, and we're all guilty of this. I do, again, for the lack of time, and especially if I buy few of the preps bits, few that tends to stock up. If I don't have time, I buy it there. Not saying necessarily I buy the fresh produce, but nonetheless, things have changed in that way. But certainly, Tesco's have been keeping up with the price increases themselves for their own products, for their own brands. So they can't tell us they're saying actually because they needed to keep up with the price increases because they need more money. 2.6 billion, and you're telling me that Tesco's need more money from farmers to pay for extra just to help them deal with, you know, the online orders. I think that's absolutely out of order. Out of all the products as well, guys, out of all the products, I just don't understand why it has to be fruit and vegetables. Anything else could be. And also for, you know, for their fulfillment stuff, okay, they charge us postage, well, the delivery, picking and delivery. It's inbuilt in your delivery cost. And I remember like, a few years back, the Tescos, you can pick up a delivery for like £1 or maybe £2. The deliveries now for like the sort of the most popular times are like £7.50, £8. You can get some maybe for £4.50, I think the cheapest. Again, maybe it's depending on the area, but £8 for the delivery and picking. I understand it takes somebody's time to do it, and of course the petrol, diesel, whatever it is to deliver the items. But £8 is a lot for a delivery cost. So they're still passing on the cost to us as a consumer, but at the same time, clearly, they want to be extra greedy and take the extra cuts from farmers. But again, I keep repeating myself, I just cannot understand. And I'm sorry, I had to bring this video because I read it and I'm like, are you serious? At the time now, when people are struggling, everybody is struggling, and all they're clearly thinking about how to make themselves the extra profit by imposing extra basically, we'll call it a duty on the farmers and producers. I think that's absolutely disgusting. So to go from there, I don't actually need to like, I've been processing this information to think that, well, where does it leave people? Where does it leave us? So I think if I ever to shop in Tesco, it's not that I buy the fresh produce from them anyway, but if I do go, I'll have to go in person to able to support the farmers so the poor things don't have to pay extra 5 or 10 pence. And online, okay, as I said to you, I don't particularly do a fresh shops online, but genuinely I want to say, do you know, Tesco, you can just jolly well bloody piss off, because Asda's not been particularly well with the prices, so I kind of stopped really popping into Asda and picking up bits and bobs unless there is something like on a specific deal, purely because of their greed. It's absolute greed, and in times now we kind of want to stick with the companies that kind of help us out a little bit as a consumer. And I know now, I heard on Lidl, apparently they're now doing this thing about the vegetables. If you're not happy with the quality of the vegetables, you get your refund. And I got hope that this means that they're the ones that are going to be forced, like, basically coughing up the refund and not the farmers. Because to be fair, the quality of the Lidl's veg, and I said this with the Tesco's as well, they're not been particularly the best, and probably due to the current circumstances anyway, but at least they are trying, aside of the reason who's going to be funding the refunds if you're not happy with the Lidl veg, at least they're kind of trying to be there to help the consumer, and looks like they're looking after ourselves rather than looking after themselves. Yet Tesco's and Asda so far looks like they literally just want to put their hand and get their pocket bigger, and do you know what I mean? Like, they seem to be just extremely greedy. So I suggest, if that's it's currently, apparently the governing body is looking into this and see if they actually breached the contract, because you have a contract, okay, with your grocer supplier. You can't just suddenly think, oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna charge an extra 5-10 pence just because I want to sell it on my online platform. Do you know what I mean? If that's not breach, I don't know what is. But I genuinely do hope that they're going to find them guilty and bloody fine Tesco's, because I think that's absolutely out of order. So for the time being, I'm going to avoid Tesco's altogether. I'm going to, if I need to do my little preppy things, I'm going to go to Lidl, which I have been doing majority of anyway. And to be fair, I suggest if you're able to do the same, I appreciate, like, you live in the area, you might not have other supermarkets available, but it's just food for thought really, and just to understand those global companies are there, and that all of them pretend to be like they're doing it good for everybody, but they're not. All they're there just to want to get themselves more profits, and that's it, at the cost of all the other small little people. So here we are. That was a little bit of runt, but anyway, hopefully you found this at all, not say interesting, because it's probably not. But it's just something that I think everybody ought to know if you haven't read this already. So anyway, well, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.